Welcome back to the Deep Dive, your home for digging into all the Formula One action. We're slicing through the noise after, well, a pretty chaotic couple of races in Mexico and Brazil. Man, things got turned upside down. So our mission today, we're wading through all the analysis, all the data, trying to figure out exactly why that championship fight seems, well, over the top, and also how all the drama, the midfield chaos, the McLaren battle, Ferrari's woes, how that's really shaking up the rest of the season.
Yeah, and we have to start right at the top, don't we? Max Verstappen. That chase he was on, it was incredible to watch, absolutely beautiful, but the maths is just brutal now. He's sitting 49 points back with only 3 races and, one sprint left. Yeah, that feels impossible, just insurmountable.
Insurmountable now, maybe. But it wasn't long ago he was closing that gap like crazy. Remember that small upgrade in Italy? Suddenly everything flipped, and that brutal hunt, as everyone called it, was well and truly on.
Oh, yeah, and the consistency was key. 7 podiums in a row, 7. And that includes Mexico and Brazil, tracks where, let's be honest, the Red Bull wasn't exactly singing, especially after those qualifying setup choices. It just shows a driver absolutely wringing the neck of that car, getting everything out of it.
Okay, but hang on. We're saying it's over, right? And we're saying Max drove brilliantly with maybe less efficient material, but
Yeah.
if Lando Norris himself said Max was the fastest car out there on heavy fuel in the race, doesn't that kind of suggest the material wasn't the issue? Wasn't it really the team's strategy call, those qualifying experiments, that actually killed the dream?
That's the painful truth of it, I think. Yes, the championship chase needed McLaren to basically have a double DNF, which, given their recent reliability, just wasn't likely. But Max's actual chance to keep the pressure on, maybe force an error, that was arguably thrown away by Red Bull before the race even started. Those setup gambles cost him grid position big time, starting from the pit lane and finishing P3, nearly P2. It's amazing, but imagine if he'd started, say, P5. Could have been a very different Sunday and maybe a different championship outlook.
Right, so, okay, forget the title, maybe. The general feeling seems to be Max gets the, honorary award for driver of the season, yeah? Just showing incredible talent, maybe more than others, with a car that wasn't always the best, especially when the team made errors. He made those recovery drives look almost easy.
That's definitely his story this year, the king of comebacks. This last race, another example, maybe not quite the drama of Brazil 2024 starting 17th and winning, but still, that same relentless drive, that mastery.
Speaking of mastery, let's switch gears to McLaren. Because, everyone was waiting for the Papaya Rules manual to come out. How would they manage Lando and Oscar fighting for the title?
Yeah.
Looks like they can keep that manual firmly in the drawer.
Yeah, no need. The internal fight, it's just not happening right now.
Because Lando Norris is just on another level. Unbelievable form.
Incommensurable, I think someone called it. It's the best we've ever seen him. Speed, consistency, confidence, just radiating it. 2 basically perfect Grand Prix back-to-back.
But, and it's a big but, Oscar Piastri seems to be going in the completely opposite direction.
It's like he's dissolving, isn't it? Like a sugar cube, someone said. You can almost see the doubt, the lack of confidence, and the errors are creeping in.
And the numbers back it up starkly. Last 6 races, Lando's clawed back 58 points on Oscar.
58?
Yeah.
He went from leading the championship to suddenly being 24 points behind. That's a huge swing.
And that pressure just seemed to boil over with that mistake in Brazil, the contact with Antonelli.
Watching the replay, it really looked like he went for it. Then halfway through the move, he realized it wasn't going to work cleanly.
Yeah, you saw the lockup as he tried to back out of it, and that was costly.
Very costly. And the 10-second penalty, honestly, it felt harsh for the initial contact itself, more of a racing incident maybe. But the stewards penalized the consequences, didn't they? Because Piastri hit Antonelli, who then collected Leclerc.
Kicking Leclerc out, yeah.
Exactly. That collateral damage made the penalty much, much bigger than it might have been otherwise.
And you have to wonder, was the car damaged after that? Or is his pace, his confidence just gone? He was miles off Lando after that incident.
It's a tough one. We need that cool, clinical Oscar back, but right now, he seems to be really feeling the pressure.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're joining us and watching this deep dive on YouTube right now, welcome to DRS Zone. Great to have you with us. Please do hit that subscribe button if you want more F1 analysis like this.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Okay, so let's talk about the rookie involved in that Piastri tangle, KIMI Antonelli. What a debut weekend, huh? Highly anticipated, comes to a track he only knows from the sim.
And puts in a brilliant performance.
Sublime, really. P2 in the race, his best result. And the stat that jumped out was him effectively doubling George Russell all weekend. You don't see that often.
That's a huge statement. Just what Mercedes needed to see.
Totally. Now, the fair point is maybe he needs a bit more aggression, especially on starts and restarts. You could argue that slightly, let's say, lukewarm restart might have given Piastri the sniff of an opportunity that led to the incident.
Possibly.
But still, you just had to see Toto Wolff's face after Kimi got P2. Pure joy. It was a massive boost for them.
Okay, from joy to, well, utter misery. Ferrari. What on earth happened there?
Oh, man, 0 points. 0.
Just unbelievable for Ferrari. Leclerc gets taken out through no fault of his own, collateral damage from the Piastri-Antonelli thing.
And Hamilton's race was basically ruined after tangling with Colapinto early on. Then the team just left him out there, seemingly just to serve a penalty they expected rather than carry it over.
It felt like giving up. 0 points. Just, yeah.
And his historical context makes it even worse. They're P4 in the Constructors right now. P4. Do you know how rare that is? Since the championship started way back when, Ferrari's only finished outside the top 3 like 15 times in total.
Wow. 15 times ever.
Yeah. So being P4 now, it's a pretty damning verdict on their season, the strategies, the operation.
But here's the stat that must sting the most in Maranello.
Yeah.
The team in P3, Red Bull,
Go on.
is basically, and this is wild, the Max Verstappen team. Max alone has scored 94% of Red Bull's points this year.
94%.
Think about that. One driver carrying almost all the points is beating the entire Ferrari team effort. That's got to be embarrassing.
Also staggering. Wow. Okay, let's look further down the grid because Brazil saw a proper midfield rebellion, didn't it?
Absolutely. Look at P6 to P10. Berman, Lawson, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Gasly. You had Haas, RB, Sauber, Alpine, all in the mix, grabbing points.
Which really throws the spotlight on Williams, who had, well, a weekend from hell.
Yeah, they called it funereal, I think. They knew the track wouldn't be great for them, but boy, did they make it worse.
The way they handled Carlos Sainz in sprint qualifying was just chaotic. Telling him to stop, then go again, making him late, forcing that huge lockup.
And then the final insult, that contact with Hamilton in the race, which cost him, what, 10 points of downforce?
Yeah, and just so you understand, at home, losing 10 points of downforce, that's a huge amount. It makes the car incredibly unstable, especially in high-speed corners. The car was already struggling, and that contact just made it basically undrivable at the limit, a self-inflicted wound on top of everything else.
And then there was Aston Martin. This was meant to be a strong track for them, wasn't it?
It's supposed to be, yeah. But they just completely vanished during the race. Honestly, they were probably the worst team out there on Sunday.
That strategy, starting on hards, seemed daring.
Daring or desperate, maybe. It failed immediately. They became the guinea pigs, as you said. Everyone saw it wasn't working and knew to avoid that tire.
And looking ahead, Las Vegas. Could be really painful for them, couldn't it? Another street track, potentially low grip.
Yeah, it looks like it could be real torment for the green cars.
Which probably explains the rumblings about internal changes. We're hearing about aerodynamicists leaving. Not official yet, but expected.
Eric Blandon's name keeps coming up. He was hailed as the miracle worker last year, but now
He's likely heading out.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? You have to clear the decks. If someone like Adrian Newey is potentially coming in down the line, he'll want his own people. The guys responsible for the current car's downward spiral. They need to make way. It's just how it works.
Right. Okay, let's wrap up with our two biggest crosses, the biggest disappointments from the weekend. First up, Gabriel Bortoleto.
Oh, that was rough. Disastrous home GP for the first Brazilian driver since Massa in 2017.
And that sprint crash. Genuinely terrifying to watch.
Absolutely horrific impacts. 34G, then 57G. It's just a massive testament to modern F1 safety that he walked away relatively okay.
But the cause, it's just overdriving.
Seems like it. Pumped up by the home crowd, maybe hyper-excessive optimism, kept the DRS open in a damp patch. Just lost it completely. A massive error.
And our second cross. Yuki Tsunoda. He's become the new invisible man, hasn't he?
It's really strange. Ever since the team started using his car for those setup experiments for Max, he's just vanished. Completely off the pace, out of the picture.
There's that theory going around, isn't there, that maybe he already knows he's not got a seat for next year.
Yeah, it's speculation, of course, but you can imagine the psychological toll. If you feel you're just being used as a benchmark for a generational talent like Max and you know your time might be up, it could really crush a driver's confidence and performance. It's sad to see.
So it all comes back to that 49-point gap. It looks massive, almost certainly insurmountable on pure pace. But, this is Formula One. It thrives on the unpredictable. We need a huge twist, a real turn of events in the script for that championship dream to flicker back to life. But that's out of anyone's control now.
Exactly. The real drama to watch now is probably internal. Can Oscar Piastri somehow find his form again, find that confidence, and actually challenge Lando? Or is that McLaren battle effectively over already? That's maybe the biggest question heading into these last few races. And can Ferrari avoid the embarrassment of finishing behind a team where one guy scored basically all the points?
Huge questions remain. All right, that's our deep dive for today here on DRS Zone. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like the analysis and want more F1 insights dropped right into your feed, make sure you hit subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcasts. We'll catch you on the next one.